by Nina Yamir at 130.50. That means 43.5 points per dive average.
Representing Italy,
We start round 4. Reverse 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4 degree of difficulty for former European champion Elena Bertocchi. Good, well executed. Not close to the board, not close enough to the board. It jumps far away a little bit too much. 6.5s for her. The entry was perfect, extremely clean, but since there's too much distance, the scores go down to 6.5s and 7s. But Elena is at 192.75, way above average. Reverse 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist for Lena Henschel. First, not the first, second twister we see in this competition so far. Oh, this is very high. Look how high she jumps compared to the others. Perfect takeoff. Slightly too leaning too far to the left, shifted with her shoulders before getting in the twist. 7s though, very good job by the German diver. 185.30 for her. Laura Valore, 13th place. She was 5 points behind the Swedish diver Nina. Oh, huge mistake on this hurdle for Laura. What a nice recovery. She was over the end with her toes over the end of the springboard, does not get a chance to squat and press the board down. And even though she encountered that huge mistake, she manages to get vertical. But obviously the scores go down 4.5s. Too big of a mistake for a 1 meter competition. Maud van Kempen. Also for her, reverse 1.5 somersault pike. As I said, most of the divers are going to show us this dive in this round. We'll have a couple of twisters, reverse twisters, a forward 2.5 somersault pike, but all the others are doing reverse 1.5 somersault pike. And here, Maud van Kempen, 5s for her, 37.20 points, sitting in 8th place at 145. From Georgia, Mariami Shenidze. Mariani was 6 points behind Nina Janmir from Sweden, and she needs a great dive here to get back on track for a spot in the final, and that is not going to happen. Scores are going to be low, around 3s, 3.5s maybe. High enough, but too fast. Somersault ends up flying over with her legs. Exactly 3.5s from the judges. Only 25.20 points, and with this huge mistake, she'll most likely not going to be diving again this afternoon, unfortunately. Michelle Emberg, our leader after 3 rounds. Big mistake for her. Well, not big, but quite a mistake for a diver so talented like her. Holds on to the pike position too long, comes out way too late. 5.5s and 6, even a 7. That is a bit too high in my opinion. But yeah, she just held on to the pike position for too long. She's gonna. She had quite an advantage, obviously, in the previous round. She's still leading, but Chiara Pelacani, who's sitting in second, has a chance to. This dive was quite close to the board. Teresa Jelinkova pulls with her shoulders back on the takeoff, and the dive is quite close. Judges deduct a few points, even though it was vertical. 5.5, 6s because of the close distance to the board. I was saying now that Michelle Emberg made a mistake now. Chiara might have a chance, Chiara Pellacani from Italy has a chance to get ahead of her, but for divers of that level, this is just a warm-up. They are definitely aiming for the final this afternoon. That's where we'll see the best of them. Sude Koprolu, reverse 1/2 somersault pike. Oh, nice and vertical for the Turkish diver. Nice and vertical dive. Not very sharp in the pike position, but compared to other reverse 1/2s we've seen before, she does a good job. 163.20 is the total score of her after 4 rounds, and that's exactly around the average needed to be in the top 12. She'll have the reverse 1/2 somersault with 1/2 twist at the end in the last round, and she has a chance here, even though she made a mistake in the 3rd round. Let's see how it goes, though. We have the diver that was sitting in 12th place, Nina from Sweden. Also for her. Oh, she balked. She has the chance to repeat her hurdle. She's gonna get her scores deducted by 2 points by each judge, because she retakes the dive. And she does a good job with that. She's gonna lose some ground here, but I gotta say, after retaking the hurdle, you get stressed, you get very nervous and anxious, and you know you made a huge mistake. But I can tell you that from the hurdle she was in the first try, she would have not been able to do such a good dive. So not ideal, but in this case, these might have scored more than what it could have scored on the first try. 31.20 points, quite below average. 161.70, and now Sude Koprolu is ahead of her by 2 points. That's where the competition, we got to focus, we got to put our focus for the competition. The fight for the final is between Sude and Nina, most likely. Dutch diver Ona, very strong, very high in the air, but doesn't control her body perfectly on the come out and goes over. 5.5 for her, 38.40 points. Still, she did very good in the previous round, so still ahead of Sude and Nina at 169.65. Amelie Forster, 17th place at 109.75 points for her after 3 rounds. Oh, what a clean entry. Not a perfect pike position in the somersault, but look at that. The entry is perfectly vertical and clean. 6.5 for her. 156.55 points. That puts her 5 points behind Nina Janmir and 7 behind Sude Koprolu. Might be too far behind. We'll see, though. We know in diving it's not over until the very last dive. Kaja Szersek, reverse 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist for the Polish diver. Good dive, slightly short. She should have done a better job on the come out of the twist here. She's a little bit slow, pulling her hips up and get the body vertical, but 6 is a dive once again above average for her. And Kaja now is at 180. Should not have any problem with the last dive. That is going to be a forward 2.5 somersault pike to make it to the final. Reverse 1.5 somersault pike for Caroline Kupka, sitting in 6th place after 3 rounds. Slightly over, but not too bad. Should be around average. Yeah, 43.20 on this dive. Also for Caroline, a smooth ride so far.
Representing Armenia,
Alexandra Bibikina now, reverse 1.5 somersault pike. She was in 3rd place after 3 rounds. And another well-executed dive by the Armenian diver. Not bad at all. Just perfectly timed in the come out. Perfect speed in the somersault. Not too fast, not too slow. It's just a 1.5, so you don't require too much speed. Strength and elegance in these kind of dives. And it's a very good job by Alexandra. 49.20 for her. Patricia Kuhn now. She was in last at 95 points. Not a chance of diving again in the afternoon. Strong jump off the board, but very heavy in the entry. A lot of splashes when lining up. Doesn't grab well her hands flat on the water. So 5.5s. She's at 137.50 now. Still in 19th place.
Representing Italy.
From Italy, Chiara Pellacani, reverse 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist. Interesting fun fact about Chiara. While all the others started with inward 1.5 somersault pike, she'll finish with that dive. Good dive, and very well executed reverse 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twist. Very high and perfect twisting position. Tight in her core, fast in the somersault and speed. 7s for her. 54.60 points, and Chiara is now at 204 points. Less than a point behind Michelle Amberg. As I said before, that mistake on the reverse 1.5 somersault by Michelle let Chiara get back on track for the leading spot, even though she's still behind, but there's a fight for gold for the first rank in this preliminary round. Elna Widerström, same dive as the Italian diver before her, not as well executed, a little bit loose in her core. That twist is a little bit wobbly, but 6.5s, not too bad. 50 points, 70 points at 192.50 in 5th place. Elna has no problem being up there with the top ranked divers. And now Ksenia Bocek, reverse 1.5 somersault pike. Ksenia, the young Ukrainian diver, leaves the dive quite short. I wasn't expecting that kind of the kind of come out. Only 4s for her. I want to say she's risking anything. She's quite ahead of the 12th place, but not a good dive in this 4th round for Ksenia. Last dive of the 4th round is Diana Karnafel. Also for her, reverse 1.5 somersault pike. Better than her teammate. Probably gonna get 6.5s here, I'd say. Should have been a little bit more vertical in the entry. She has to arch to get it somewhat vertical, but as I said, 6.5s, and Diana is in 5th place at the moment with Elna Widerström at 192.50.